Hello, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Shelly Ann Minta, I'm the owner of Affinity Dreams, and this is Live Your Dreams. Today, we will be talking about failing forward. But before we get into our subject, I just want to remind you to follow me on Facebook and also like these videos, share the page. You can also like the videos on YouTube as well, and also follow and on YouTube and subscribe on YouTube as well. Um, Also, to let you know that there are other videos there as well. If you can go on, if you're new to the channel, and just like those other videos, not just this one, just look at my other content and share that content as well with anyone that you know that need help with their health and well-being. Anyone that is overweight because of stress eating. I specialize in people that are work in jobs that are extremely stressful, which causes them to have very bad eating habits, stress eating, not eating when they're supposed to be eating, poor sleep patterns, and all of the other illnesses that come along with not having a proper nutrition and not taking care of yourself. Um, I take care of the entire health of the person, including and so it means their mind, um, their body, and of course their inner self. So it's a holistic approach to healing and recovering and living a much more vibrant life. It's transformational coaching. Um, it's a nutritional coaching. It's mindset coaching. It's purpose finding coaching. It's everything in one to help people achieve their goals and live a more successful life. So if you can do that as well, spread the word, share the love, and maybe save somebody's life, because I keep saying stress really does kill. So that being said, how are you checking in today? How's everybody going? Last week, as you know, I had to film from my car because a fire alarm went off in my building and I had to get out. And so that was very interesting. But today, as you can see, I'm back in the studio and I'm checking in, feeling, how am I feeling? I'm checking in, feeling optimistic. Optimistic. And that's a good thing. Optimism is a good thing. Okay, so I want to get into our topic now. If you're coming in, just tell me where you're coming from. Tell me your name. Feel free to ask questions in the chat, or you can contact me later on all my social media networks. And I also have email. All that information is in the details in this video. So, what are we talking about today? We're talking about failing forward. And I don't know if you've ever heard it put this way before. Maybe it's just a new approach to a good idea that's already been shared, but let's get into it. What do I mean by failing forward? I mean that when you make mistakes, when things happen to you that you weren't planning for, and it may or may not be having a negative effect on your life, but for one, for well, it's something that you don't want. It wasn't the outcome that you were looking for. Let's put it this way. Okay. It wasn't what you're looking for. Sometimes it ends up being okay, sometimes not so good. But the point is, you set out to do something, you plan something out, and disaster hit. Now, I'm not talking about if you've come into mishaps. We're talking real failure. Real failure arises from people making decisions and acting on those decisions. In other words, you have to live, you have to take action in order to fail. If you haven't done anything, if you haven't put even one foot forward, then you haven't failed. You just haven't even attempted. You haven't even attempted. You're still stuck. We talked about being stuck before. If you're not moving forward, you're stuck. If you're not putting things into action, if you're not planning things out and setting goals for yourself and moving forward, you're stuck. So I'm talking to the people that are taking action. It could be small baby steps. It could be like very, very minimal action. That it doesn't matter. Sometimes the smallest amount of effort brings about the greatest results. So we're not talking about how much, but the point is that you are making decisions and you're moving forward. And it didn't work out. So we say it's failure, right? And in the past, we talked about how failure is a good thing. It's good for you. And really and truly, if you go back and look at other videos, you'll see that failure is something that teaches us. It helps us to grow. So it's not a negative thing, but there are negative connotations attached to it. And so people are afraid to fail. Fear is what keeps us from attempting to do things. Fear is what causes us not to even live our lives the way we want to. Okay, the fear of failing, the fear of failure. It's one of the biggest things that controls people's behavior and how they interact with the world around them. But today, we're pushing the bar a little bit further and we're talking about failing forward. Before, we talked about not being afraid to fail, to try new things because it's good for you. It's good for your growth. It's good for your development. It's a good learning tool. But today, we're talking about failing forward. So we're talking about making adjustments when you fail. We're talking about making improvements when you fail. We're talking about not giving up. So you attempt to do something, it didn't work out. It doesn't mean you abandon it. It means you step back, take stock of the situation, reevaluate, make a decision, and attempt it again. Differently this time. We're not talking about continuously doing the same thing over and over again because we all know that that's insanity, right? You keep applying the same steps. You keep taking the same approach. You don't revamp your plans. You keep implementing the same plans and you keep stumbling and falling and getting all twisted up in your situation and stuck. We're not talking about that. We're talking about failing forward. So in other words, you make a plan, you work on your plan, you move forward with your plan. God bless you. Welcome to the broadcast, Daniel Nurse. Welcome, blessings. Thank you. So as you're coming in, I said just check in and just let me know how you are today. If you're feeling good, if you're feeling great, optimistic about life, I'd like to know where you are in this moment. And so let's continue to talk about failing forward. When we think about a baby and they start to learn how to walk, they trip, they fall, they hold on to a chair, they hold on to a couch, they fall from the couch, they try to crawl again, they get up. But most babies have become adults now. You all were babies and you know how to walk today, which means you didn't give up. You kept trying. And because you kept trying, all of your efforts paid off and now you can walk. You're upright. We were created by God to walk upright. Okay. We weren't created to crawl. Only as babies, as we're learning, but as we get older, we have to walk. So we cannot give up until we can walk. Every time we fell, every time something happened at us with us when we were babies, we learned from that mistake and we readjusted. Maybe we tried to run when we weren't ready and we fell. So now this time we'll take our time and put one foot in front of the other to get where we're going. We won't rush it. Maybe this time we'll hold on with one hand and try to do it instead of letting go altogether. We continue to learn from what went wrong and make adjustments and keep moving forward. Now let's talk about something else a little bit more complex and a little bit more, how would we say, disastrous. Let's talk about an attempt, a great attempt that human beings took to go to space. We wanted to go to the moon. It was risky and difficult, and there was only a percentage of chance of success. But because we wanted to do it, because we knew the outcomes of straight space travel would help us maybe understand who we are in the universe, because that's what man is always looking for, even through science. At the end of the day, people may not want to believe it or accept who they are. They don't accept that there is a source and a force that is greater than them in the universe. They don't accept that they have a creator. They don't accept that God is part of the equation. But something that is in them that is that's inherent, that is part of their DNA, keeps pushing them forward to understand who they are and their purpose. Why we are here is the greatest question man asks himself. So we push towards space exploration. We push towards scientific discovery. So here was a big, huge push to go to the moon. And they were doing well, okay? Up until 1986, when the Space Shuttle Challenger blew up. They had, this was the Space Shuttle Challenger orbiter. The orbiter part is the plane that sits on the shuttle. That's where the crew sits when they are taking off. They had 10 successful flights, and it was the 25th flight of the shuttle fleet. So everything was going great, but on that day, disaster hit and the shuttle blew up. I don't know if you experienced it, if you saw it on TV, or if you heard about it, but that's what happened. Why did it blow up? Something very small and something seemingly insignificant. The O-ring seal on the rocket booster joint shrunk because of unusually low temperatures, and so it leaked. The fluid from the booster leaked into the engine. Okay, pressurized gas leaked into the engine and caused the engine, the fuel tank, and caused the fuel tank to fail. The rocket booster arm in the back fell off, and at that point, it was full structural failure, and the tank blew. I'm not an expert. I may not be saying it correctly, but that is the gist of it. The point of it is that it was caused by an O-ring seal. An O-ring seal. The orbiter, because of aerodynamic forces where the crew was, broke apart, and all 7 members of that crew died on that day. Because of that failure, they didn't give up, even though life was lost and it was disastrous. It may have been the end of that space program. They could have given up. NASA could have rushed their hands and said, well, that's it. I'm done. I failed. The whole world is looking at us. We feel like failures. Yes, it was an accident. It is an accident that could have been avoided, but you don't know what you don't know. A simple little thing can cause failure. We don't know what we don't know. That little ring, okay, it was fine all the time because the temperature was right. They didn't know that temperature could compromise the rocket booster. So the same with life. We don't know what we don't know. And sometimes the best plans fail. The well laid out plans, you're thinking ahead, you're putting together all the risk. You're thinking of all the risk. You're listing them out and you're coming up with contingency plans. I'm a project manager. I know about making good plans. But I also know that you can't always plan for everything. And some plans you can fix on the fly. Some plans you know ahead and you can plan for. You can mitigate it or you can eliminate it. You can transfer the risk onto somebody else. You can do a lot of things. But if you don't know what you don't know, there's nothing you can do. You just have to adjust and make decisions, make changes to improve on your plan and keep moving forward. That is how life is as well. Failure is not a reason to give up. We fail to move forward. And this is why I say you need to fail forward. Okay? Your failure should move you forward. It should help you to make better decisions, help you to plan better, and it should surely give you a lot of wisdom and insight. It'll help you think differently. When they put together the next flight, they fixed that O-ring problem. And they also looked for other things, small things, like the screws, or if there were anything to seal the joints, or the smallest little wire, every little bit of that, of the next shuttle they went over it with a fine-tooth comb, even things that were ridiculous, because now they knew that even the smallest thing, the thing that could seem insignificant, could have a huge impact and could cause a major disaster. They learned from their mistakes, and unfortunately the casualties was not acceptable. Any human life lost is not acceptable. But the point is, for the greater good of mankind, they decided it was worth it to keep moving forward. For the greater good of your life and the people around you, for the greater good of your personal, for yourself and others, you keep moving forward. You are a gift and have purpose in this world. And when you don't live, when you give up, when you don't move forward, it impacts you and the people around you. It impacts the world. There's something that you have to contribute that only you can give. And so if you don't move forward, it's not going to be done. So learn to fail forward. Get up, dust yourself off, go back to the drawing board, revisit the plan, make adjustments, find out what went wrong. You have to investigate. What happened? Why did I mess up? Or why did this thing happen? Sometimes there's nothing you could have done. It's just a thing that happened. It's just life. That shuttle could have taken off and everything could be fine. And some kind of space debris could have hit the shuttle in the wrong way and caused it to go off kilter and to maybe hit an asteroid or something. We don't know. Sometimes we can't really understand, the different things that happen around us. They just happen and there's no explanation for it. And we beat ourselves up saying we could have done this or that better. That, yes, revisit, investigate, and make adjustments. But also understand that sometimes there's nothing you can do. And so beating yourself up and causing yourself to not live a full life is not, it's just not an option. Your only option, truly, really and truly, is to continue to move forward. Fail forward. Fail, adjust, learn, adjust, keep moving forward. Fail again. Fail. Keep moving forward. Don't let time go by where you're not functioning. You're wasting time. Try something else. Try something different. Get advice. Make the decision. Go again. The faster you fail is the faster you will come to get to success. Because if you're failing fast, it means you're continuously adjusting and moving forward. You're continuously making decisions. You're living. You're living. Failure is part of life. Nobody in this world is perfect. Only the creator is perfect. You are not perfect. You will continue to fail and fail and fail and learn and move forward and improve. And out of that failure, something awesome will happen. There's going to be some sort of outcome out of that failure. And it's going to be good. And always look for the positive in it. Even when it goes wrong, there's something that you have learned. At the end of the day, even if it doesn't work out, you learn something. There's a takeaway from all that. That's why at the end of a project, we always come back and we sit down, we do a debrief. And we talk about what went wrong. And we start thinking about how we can make it better the next time. Well, that's it for today. That's all I have to tell you about failure. And I have an announcement to make because I continuously do these broadcasts and people seem to come and look at the replay. They don't really come on to the live. I have to make an adjustment. I have to learn from this not working because my whole hope is that people would come on the live and have a discourse. This is for the purpose of having a discourse. It's for the purpose of having me live here so that you can ask me questions and so that I can input, download beautiful things into your life. But people always come back to look at the video after the fact, the replay. So I have to make an adjustment. I'm really thinking not to do these lives anymore. That doesn't mean to say that I will not be broadcasting or sending like putting videos out there. It just means that I'm going to take a different approach to it. Maybe not the live every week. And maybe I'll change platforms as well because I noticed that on certain platforms, people interact more. And I really want to reach out to people. This is the whole purpose of this. It's not just for me to get on here and just, talk and be noticed. It's not for me. I'm doing this to reach out to others. So I have to go where I'm having the most impact and where people have questions and will interact with me more. So I have to step back a little bit and rethink this whole thing and figure out where I'm going to go next. And I will let you know when that happens. But in the meantime, if you're seeing this and it's a replay, just let me know by typing #replay in the comments so that I know that you are coming in after the fact. And stay tuned. Usually at this point, I would say see you at 2:30 next week on Saturdays, every Saturday at 2:30. But today I am saying just stay tuned and I will let you know where I'm going next. I also want you to know that I do have a sale on. You can go on all my social media platforms and it's there. The information is there. It is a fall into fall. It's falling into good health for the fall. So fall into good health is what it is. And it is 65% off. The details are there of how you will get your 65% off. This is a huge discount on my best #1 tier 1 program. So if you're interested in getting in at a low price with the same amount of goodness, then go over and take a look at all the social media platforms and you will get the information there. If you just want to talk, or just take advantage of my free consultation or strategy session, as I would like to call it, then send me, go onto my calendar and book a time with me. Go to https://calendly.com/affinity dreams and book an appointment with me there, and I will be in touch with you. That's all for now. And I hope to see you guys again. Not sure what it's going to look like I said, but stay tuned. Thanks, everybody. And by the way, I love doing these live broadcasts. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But what I really want is to talk to all of you. And like I said, if that's not what, this is not the effective way to do it, and this is not how the a good value for people, then I got to find what is of a good value for everyone out there and find a way that's effective to actually interact with you. And so that's what I'll do. Anyhow, I will see you guys again very soon, I hope. Have a great Saturday, and I will catch you later. Goodbye, everybody.